There was once a man named Jonas who refused to bend. For 32 years, he lived in the same weathered farmhouse at the edge of town, wearing the same brown overalls, eating the same breakfast of black coffee and rye toast at specifically 6:15 a.m. The townsfolk called him the Oak, not out of respect, but because he stood rigid as a tree as the world moved around him. When the highway came through in '89, cutting through Old Miller's Field, Jonas refused to sell his corner acre. The construction crew worked around him, leaving his patch of land jutting into the road like a stubborn tooth. Cars now swerved around his mailbox, honking at the absurdity. "You're blocking progress," the mayor shouted one evening, red-faced on Jonas's porch. Jonas sipped his coffee, the same chipped mug he'd used since his wife left in '76. "Progress tore down the drugstore where I held Martha's hand for the first time," he said. "Paved over the creek where my boy learned to swim." He set the mug down with a click. "Call me when progress brings any of that back." The years passed. The town grew taller with glass and steel, while Jonas's farmhouse grew shabbier. His overalls frayed at the edges. His hands, once strong enough to split logs, now trembled slightly when lifting his coffee cup. Still, he refused. Then came the drought. For 3 cruel summers, the earth cracked like old pottery. Jonas's well ran dry. His garden withered on the 100th rainless morning. He stood staring at his dead potato plants, the same variety he'd grown since Martha planted the first seedling, when something inside him snapped. Not loudly, not dramatically, but just a quiet, final pop, like a root giving away. He drove to the hardware store, the new one, not the one that closed in '92, and bought a case of seed packets labeled drought resistant. The cashier gaped as this living fossil placed exotic varieties on the counter: prickly pear cactus, agave, purple desert sage. That night, Jonas sat at his kitchen table, studying the unfamiliar seeds. His calloused fingers traced their strange shapes. For the first time in decades, his routine was broken. The coffee grew cold, the toast uneaten. When dawn came, he knelt in the dust and planted something new. We mistake resistance for strength. We think holding on makes us mighty, when really, we're just stuck. But here's the secret no one tells you. The bravest thing a rigid man can do isn't standing firm. It's choosing where to bend. Jonas didn't surrender his memories when he planted those desert seeds. He honored them by surviving. The cactus blooms weren't betrayal, they were evolution. Your traditions, your scars, your "this is how I've always done it," they're not your foundation. They're just the walls you've built between yourself and the next version of your life. The world will keep changing. The drought will come, and one day you'll face a choice: die rooted in the past, or grow something unexpected.